Hi, everyone. Hi, Catherine Stubbs. Hi, Linda. Linda Sandoval, sorry. I've got you well trained. Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so I hope everyone's going okay. No, trying not to get too caught up in things. Fly, big fly there. My hubby made me my usual coffee decaf for a Tuesday night, but he was a bit distracted and he loaded it with sweetener, which he does for himself. And I'm like, oh, I can't drink that. You drink that. Don't worry about it. So, yeah. How's everyone? I hope you guys are good. I was just looking at the news feed. And Trump's Piers Morgan. He's an English journalist. He's copping a lot of criticism at the moment. He made some comments about Meghan Markle, and he was stormed off the Good Morning Britain set on Tuesday after being challenged over his comments about Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, which aired on Sunday. She suffered suicidal thoughts while she was pregnant with Archie, and Piers publicly declared he didn't believe her on the morning show on Monday. So Piers Morgan, what's his future like? He's a rather unpleasant specimen. Hi, Gail Kay. He's a very unpleasant specimen, actually, not just rather unpleasant. Very unpleasant. So yeah, so I don't really do much about the royal family and all that. But it'd be interesting to see what happens with Piers Morgan. He's a bit of an oink. Yeah, so we can start there. Hi, Flora. Yes, we'll have a look at Piers Morgan. I'm going to just chase this fly. You see some changes in my office area again in a little bit. Probably before I come back on Thursday morning. Hi, Flora. How's Bibra Lake? That's the one, not Bibra Lake. Oh, dear. So any questions that people want me to ask? Well, thank you. Just put the scarf on and pushed it back to keep my hair out of my face. It's all growing out, and oh, friggin' flies. You just try and just got to, they annoy me. They get into the tiniest, weird little cracks, and you can open a door, a sliding door wide open for them, and they can't find their way out of it. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So, horrible things flying, aren't they? Hi, Amy Smith. So, who has got any questions for me apart from Piers Morgan? I know that the Supreme Court chucked out Trump's last case, the one about Wisconsin and all that, and said, no, nothing there. Nothing to see here. So we'll have a look at how Trump's going to react to that. Just looking at the news feed over here. And Tesla, Elon Musk company, it loses a third of its value for the third time in a year. What's the future for that company? I mean, he's put a lot into SpaceX and stuff as well. And this other thing that he's looking to move to Texas. So what's the Don Jr.? So what is in the winds for Tesla? Don Jr., what is? Okay, we can have a look at Don Jr. Hi, Amy Smith. Okay. Okay, it's spring. January, so hi Gail K. Yeah, I'm just having a look at the news feed a bit to see if there's any other stories really. We're going to be looking at the Supreme Court tossing out the last of Trump's cases. Don Jr., Piers Morgan, his future, Tesla, the future for that. The Victoria Premier over here, Daniel Andrews, he's in intensive care. Why? Damage to his vertebrae and his ribs after he had a fall. Oh, my goodness. Well, let's hope he's okay. It's a very, yeah, he's one of our state's premiers over here. Okay. Trump endorses John Boozman, a senator who refused to support GOP effort to overturn election. Then we'll put that with a grain of salt. Boozman, hey? Okay. My Pillow CEO Mike Lindsay urges election criminals to surrender to him for less prison time. Oh my goodness. A Republican split with Trump. Let's have a look. I had a look at what the Trump saying they can't use his image and all that the other day. It was that beginning of the end. So we might look a bit further at that split with Trump. Do people need to prepare for a recession? In the US, elsewhere, recessions, US, UK. Depend where you are in the world, probably, but we'll have a closer look at that. He is crazy. Came out yesterday that I'm in Western Australia, of course, as you all know. Western Australia has the strongest economy in the world at the moment, followed by Germany. So I thank whoever I have to thank every day that I am in the state and in the country that I'm in, because, you know, QAnon, nothing really happened on March 4. What's the result of that? Of nothing really happening. Why is Russia is targeting Germany misinformation or disinformation campaign? What's all that about? We'll have a look at that. Okay. John Jr. called Cuomo the Groper in chief. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, I think that's enough to go on with. So we will start with top of the list. The Supreme Court tossed out Trump. Ooh, who in Congress will be in Congress? Implications. I'm picking up mostly members of the House, but there could be a senator, but that's highly unlikely. But you can't really rule it out. So what is the going on in Trump's head after the court threw out his last the last of his court cases got turfed out. Okay. I went and I did some meditating and took a break, and hello to everyone who's watching at the moment, even if you're not commenting. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to just keep it just over an hour tonight, okay? So, but yeah, some thumbs up would be nice. Not much going on in Trump there. What's going on with Trump after he's learned about the Supreme Court? There's some stuff going to be coming to light. This is the moon. There's still some deception going on and still some stuff to come to light about him. He has to start thinking about a different direction. Seven of Pentacles reversed. This is letting go of the direction he was going in and thinking about heading in a new direction. So he's probably thinking, well, that's the last of his legal challenge. Now he's going to try other things. What's on the bottom here? The Empress, and it is reversed. Not a lot of abundance of options available to him. He's running out of options. He's running out of possibilities of what he can do. Three of Pentacles. He's finding it harder to get people to work with him now. He's going to find it harder to get the implications of him losing this case. Is like, it's the last avenue. It's the last one that could have put any validity to his claim, and they throw it out. And now there's going to be people. He's going to find it a bit harder to get people to work with him. Hi, Catherine Bush. There are some big changes coming to him. He has to accept that he's got nowhere to go. And there's some big changes coming, and really he doesn't really have much choice about what he can do about any of it. And he's this is the Death card reversed. And he's got to move on. But he can't change any of it. The changes that have happened are not good for him. They're not the best for him, and he's got to move on. But he doesn't. Thank you, Catherine. This is he's not in for a very smooth time. He's you know what he's like. He doesn't accept anything, and because he doesn't accept anything, and he won't do what he needs to do, change direction in the way he does things and stuff, he's really in for a tough time. That's the Six of Swords reversed. Stored momentum. Stored momentum. He has wasted a lot of money, and a lot of people gave money for his legal troubles and for these fights in the court, and a lot of it's been wasted. This is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Wasted resources. Knight of Cups reversed. He was offering them something he couldn't deliver. This was the charming knight. Hi, Nina Sanderson. Hi, Clarence Fields. There's going to, yeah, a lot of those things that are happening in those states where they're trying to make it harder to vote, they're going to be reversed or returned or reviewed. Things will have to be good there. Hi, Estelle Harrington. Changes will be made there. Knight of Cups. He couldn't deliver on his promises, and things are going to come out. Oh, he's really painted himself into a corner, a very tight corner. Betrayal and heartbreak. He's feeling betrayed, but he's painted himself out into a corner. The moon's there, upright. Deceptions are going to be highlighted. Painted himself into a corner. And betrayal, news of betrayal is. He can't accept it. He just cannot accept it and move on. He's just going to try and hard. He's in for a very, very dark period. He's in for a very dark time. Things are going to go downhill for him in a big way. I mean, they're major arcanas and strength. Strength and patience is needed, but he doesn't have that. He can't have that. Something's going to come and hit him really strongly. Three of Wands, consequences are going to hit him really strongly. Hey, Bubba girl. She's gone and planted her backside on the cards. Oh, you sweetie. Come on, sweetheart. So, yeah, he's consequences. He's going to be hit with the consequences of his betrayal really strongly. This is a major arcana. High impact. He's got quite a few of the high impact cards there, and it doesn't look like many of them are good for him. Okay. Hi, April Evans. Hi, Debbie Fitzsimmons. Hi, Robin Oven. Kitty always needs attention. See, I got the nails done, and now Mum's got good scratches, so better than Dad's. So she likes getting scratches from me at the moment. So yep, Her Majesty, my cameo, my Bubba girl. Her name's Cameo, C-A-M-E-O. She is Queen of all she surveys. And, yeah. Thank you, Flora. Thank you very much. John Jr. Let's have a look at John Jr. What's in the cards for John Jr.? Let's have a look. What's in the cards for John Jr.? Will we have a look at John Jr.? Hey? Will we have a look at John Jr.? Oh, Mummy might have to give you some medicine tomorrow. What do you reckon? You want some medicine tomorrow? Yeah? Hi, Cat M. All right. Mummy will work around you because she loves you and she knows she's got no choice. Yeah, I do appreciate the ongoing support I get from you guys. It's really very nice. 7171 signing. Let's have a look at Don Jr., shall we? What's going on with him? Strength. He's going to need some strength. We'll see what that indicates. It's a big, high impact, a very strong impact. Victory. He thinks he's got embattlement. 6 of Wands, embattlement. So he thinks he's got a victory, but he's becoming embattled. Interesting. Here it is again. People not working with him. Now, I put these cards and shuffled them and everything, but not being able to get people to work with him. The 3 of Pentacles reversed. We've got the 9 of Wands embattlement. 2 of Swords is a tipping point. It's coming to a tipping point, a critical tipping point. He's continued crowing on behalf of his father. He's continued, you know, the part of the 6 of Wands, it's not always about victory. It can also be the emissary for the king. Hi, Edna May. Hi, Eunice Ruffin. And, yeah, and a tipping point with his continual talking up of things. Overflow of emotions. 10 of Wands, but it's reversed. Dropping his bundle, coming to an end. No longer able to carry the burden. Time to move on. Oh, betrayal. Interesting. His father got that card too. Betrayal. Page of Cups reversed. Inability, emotional instability, emotional immaturity, not dealing with bad news very well. Hi, Marsha Hostetler. Thank you. That's a new name. I always like to see new names. And thank you for joining us. And thank you to everyone else who's watching. Temperance. He needs to temper down his way of doing things. He needs to find a new balance in the way he does things, to find, as Sheila from Inquisitive said the other day quite wisely, he needs to find some self-restraint, and quite a bit of it. I'm looking at Don Jr. King of Wands. Yeah, he got betrayed by the King of Wands. He's beat his emissary. It's at a critical tipping point. Betrayal. King of Wands. He's either going to turn on his dad or his dad's going to throw him under the bus. He is going to be facing some justice. High impact card there. Here's that 4 of Cups reversed again. Does not want to know about, you know, just totally doesn't want to know. He's refusing to look at it. And he's refusing to look at the whole situation. It's been laid out before him what he has to do. But he's just being stubborn and stupid. And he won't. He wants to move on from it. What's more of that 4 of Cups? 10 of Cups, break from family. This is the break from family. Queen of Cups. Panacea for all ills. Emotional falling star. Okay, I think there's going to be some ties to him and possibly Russia come out. But this is the star too, reversed. Vulnerable, falling star. His star is not on the rise. It is tumbling down. He's in for a bit of a tough time, and it looks like there could be some legal stuff in there, and he might even turn against his dad, or his dad might betray him. You know, neither one would surprise me in any way. Now, let's have a look. Piers Morgan. What is in the future for Piers Morgan? Always found him a bit of an oink, slightly unsavoury. Some people find him more than slightly unsavoury. So for those of you who don't know, he's a British journalist. He's being taken to task at the moment by being snarky about Meghan's comments about how she felt suicidal when she was pregnant with Archie and things like that. Thank you. I like my headscarves. They help me keep my hair out of my eyes because my hair has a, you know, I like bright things, you know, as well, but it also helps keep my hair under control because my hair has a mind of its own. Hello to everyone who's watching and hello to everyone who will be watching later in the video. Sorry. Piers Morgan, God, the highest truth and compassion. Thank you for helping charity and Piers Morgan. He's a nasty piece of work, Cat M, but let's have a look. I don't, you know, wish anything against anybody but justice, you know. I don't wish harm, actively wish harm on anyone. I only wish that they get treated, that, you know, the outcome in their lives is what is justified. So, what's going on with him? Oh, forced abandonment. He might be in a lot of trouble with his television station. Forced abandonment, being forced to walk away. That's the 8 of Cups. What's his challenge? Yeah, he's always been one to crow about things. This again is an emissary. As a journalist, he can be considered an emissary, but his integrity is being brought under fire again, not for the first time. This is a challenge for him. So, do base, past, present, future. I'm just going to do a couple more cards here. Base of the reading for him. Consequences to his actions. He's going to have to face some consequences. Past. Institutionally, thinking outside of the box. Okay. The Hierophant reversed is another way of saying it. Someone who thinks outside the traditional lines of an institution. Someone who thinks outside of the box. Someone who can be radical. He's being viewed as they're tired of him and the way he really just throws out conventions too often and deliberately provokes situations at times to get done what he wants done. What's his present at the moment? Over him at the moment. Oh, justice is hanging over him at the moment. This is the second high impact card. So his habit of colouring outside the lines, shall we say, is going to have a high impact on him. Consequences from that. Justice is coming for him, and it's high impact justice. What's in his immediate future? An offer he does not want. He may have gone too far, storming off the set of your show. In his environment, you think he's got the sun. This is at odds with everything else that's here. So in his environment, it's the sun. So I this is not necessarily a good thing. This could be exposure of something about him. What do people see? They see someone who very much likes to do deals, backdoor deals, for stories and all that, and is not necessarily the most gracious to his production staff and researchers and all that. He's a bit of a knob. Trying to get any credit, trying to get him to acknowledge your work if you're one of his researchers or something is like getting blood out of a stone. Just not going to happen. What are his fears? He's fearing there is a change coming there. Well, he's fearing that there is a change coming that he cannot do anything about, that he has no control over. What's his hopes? Oh, he hopes that he can rebalance him. He's got a lot of high impact cards here, so whatever's going to be happening in his future is going to have a big impact on his life. He's hoping he can redress the balance in some way. What are his outcomes? Ooh. He's going to have to find a new emotional stability. Oh, he's going to find it hard. People are seeing him as the disruptive child type of person to work with at the moment. And they really don't want to have to deal with antics like his, when they've got so much going on elsewhere. So dealing with his antics, they don't want to communicate. Momentum, stopped momentum. Now this, the eight of Wands, of course, is communication. He is in the journalistic field. He is supposed to be a communicator. This is also a card of momentum when it's upright, forward momentum, forward movement. But it's reversed, stopped momentum, lack of communications. And one more outcome card for Piers Morgan. Ooh. So his outcome started with the need for more emotional stability, and it's ended with the Queen of Cups reversed. An inability to cope. A need for help with emotional stability. Often I see the Queen of Cups as a need for medication. So, yeah, he could be on his way to not a very pleasant time mental health-wise. If that is the case, I hope he gets whatever help he needs. But his future is not looking super bright. There was that sun, but I do feel that that might be in the form of exposure. So I'm going to bring the sun out again in his environment, exposure in his environment. And I'm going to do a couple of cards from a different deck on that to see if I can get some more clarification about that sun. He might be suspended for a while. The love is there upside down. Trying to make Two of Swords. Tipping point. Something's going to come out with some deal he made or something, and it's so this is exposure about a deal he made or a partnership he made, the lovers, and it's a tipping point. Time for a vital decision. Very interesting. Hi, Christine Thomas. Really interesting. Now, what else is on the list? Oh, are the Republicans... Now, we had a look at Trump sending the cease and desist letter. Hang on, I'm just going to put my scarf back on. It slid off the back. As you can see, I'm growing my hair out, and you can see how long my fringe is, and the scarves, not just, I love wearing them, of course, you all know that, but it's not just, they help keep my hair out of my... So, yeah, I love wearing them at the right colours, but they do have a very practical function too. So, yeah. Hi, Deanna Gonzalez. Hi, Eugenia Maliki. It's lovely to see another name, a new name. Got, ow! Cameo's sitting in front of me here at the moment, and she's just let me know that she did not appreciate it. So I've got cards over here. I've got to lay them down over here because she's like directly where I lay my cards down. And yeah. So how is Trump's relationship with the GOP really going? Okay. What is happening with the GOP? How is his relationship with the GOP really going? I said when I read about him sending a cease and desist letter, even though he says he's backing somebody, it's like, really? So, guys, oh, that's true. He still wants to think it's really free. Now, the RNC is having their summer fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you, Marsha. That's really interesting to hear, Melinda Dutch. So, they're going to have their summer fundraiser there. So, it's still pretty strong, but gets subject to scrutiny for some reason. It's being scrutinized. Honestly, I think the Democrats don't give a hoot at the moment. They just think, well, you know, if the GOP continue along with Trump, they're just going to self-detonate, and I think they've got a point there. There's some scrutiny going on somewhere. A legacy. He's still looking at them as a way to build his family's legacy. So he still has a use for them. Where's the scrutiny from, I wonder? Yeah, there's quite a lot of confusion around this. The GOP are doing that with him, and they're doing that, but then he's sending out these cease and desist. So there seems to be some confusion going on there. I mean, they're going to use Mar-a-Lago. It saves them having to work to do this. Yeah. That's okay, Linda. Interesting. I thought when I was concentrating before, yeah, now here's a change coming to that relationship. I got that the relationship is not quite as strong as he wants people to believe it is. But there is a change, and it is an irreversible change and an unavoidable change coming to this relationship. And it's under scrutiny, and that scrutiny might be what is going to lead to that change. It's not as strong as he thinks it is, but he still has a use for them. Yeah, there is going to be some stuff coming out about his relationship with the GOP. He's still considered a guiding light by a lot of people. If they get his endorsement, they feel they're sure to get voted back in. So he's still considered a shining star in the party by a lot of people. But it's still pretty strong at the moment. But we've got this irreversible change coming and this unavoidable change coming. But we've got the sun on top of that. Now, there could be something coming to light, things coming to light. Could be a change for the better for the Republican Party. Could be both. Strength. Okay, we've got him building a legacy, some truth coming out, that's a cut through the bullshit card to the Ace of Swords, pardon my French. And on top of that, we've got strength. Then there's reaping what you sow and need to go into a different direction. Eight of Swords is on the bottom. They've painted themselves into a corner with him. Is that they still need him, but there's a growing measure of strength within the party. It's still pretty small, but it's getting bigger. That's going to lead them to go in a different direction. But it's the party split between Trumpsters and non-Trumpsters. Let's have a look. Sitting pretty. Celebration, Mar-a-Lago. Lost support. The cracks are beginning to show, and there are going to be some irreversible changes in that relationship. But it's going to take time. Those are major arcanas. So at the moment, it's still pretty strong. But it's not as strong as he would like people to believe. He would like people to believe he has 100% control over that, everyone in that party, but he doesn't. Okay, sorry, the cards are over here. because Cameo is here. Cameo is here. So I had to move the cards over here. So I'm looking down here and not looking at you guys like I normally would. Yeah. So he's still considered a star in the party, but there are changes coming. There are somebody scrutinizing things within the party, within the RNC. There's some maybe an abuse of power. This one of the meanings of this is not just the sitting pretty, but abusing the power they have. Coming to light, that was on top of the sun. So it's all very interesting to what could happen there. I think there are cracks starting to show, but at the moment he's still a really strong influence. But that is going to start changing direction. Might not be before their summer fundraiser, but possibly after. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Helena Harrison. Hi, Keisha Harris. Oh, your live chat's frozen, Christine. I'm sorry. You might have to go out and come back in again. What else have we got? Got Tesla, but somebody asked me about recessions. So let's have a look at that. Oh, she's finally moved her butt. Finally moved your butt, Missy. Hey? Hi, Mary Fanood. I went and did some meditations yesterday. I did a chakra rebalance and things, and yeah, it was really good. Let's see. Recessions. US. The US in for a recession. Yeah, look, the economy, there is going to be some trouble with the economy, and I don't know if it's going to be a full-on crash, but there's definitely going to be some undermining of it, simply because of COVID and all the, all the restrictions it caused. There's going to have to be balancing acts. Stability is going to be an important it's going to be really important in the future. And I think, did they bring in new laws in 2008 after that crash, 2009? There is definitely going to be some confusion out there about what's happening. Yeah, families are going to be hit. This is families in this instance, not the Republican Party. It is going to be a bit of a rough ride. So there's going to be quite a bit of a transition to get onto a more stable platform, justified. confusion but justice. And I get that linked up to the emperor. There was some changes made after 2008 so that some things that happened back then did not happen this time around. And I think those changes will be proved to have been justified. Hi, Sharon Side. Hi, Debbie Fitzsimmons. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of assessment in the economy, looking at the resources, possibly feeling like there's not enough. I do think there is going to be a recession, yeah. But, okay. This line come out as a fuller picture. Now, this is the rule of laws. I would say that in regards to this, this would be like changes made to legislation and stuff so that some of the things that occurred back in 2008 cannot happen again. It's going to help. Those changes will help with getting people through things a little bit easier. So not so many lost houses and this and that. And also there's things like moratoriums on rent and things like that. There is going to be a bit more help and nurturing through this time than there has been previously, primarily I think because of COVID. The stimulus package is going to help. Yeah, Joe Biden is going to be justified in. Yeah, so Joe Biden was behind some of these changes. So his work that he did back then is going to come to play. So yeah, look, I think there is going to be a recession. It's not going to be as bad as it could have been. I mean, it could have gone into a full-on depression, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it's not going to. It's going to be a bit of a rough ride, but not as rough as it could have been, given the COVID situation and all that. But yeah, hang on to your hats, gather your resources around you. There is hope for the future. So I think it's, yeah, so, but there is hope. And I think it's because of some of the changes that was instituted during the Obama administration. Might be a bit surprising. Okay, so it might be a bit surprised, some surprising news about. It would be a bit of a pleasant surprise, I think, that it's not going to get as bad as everyone thinks it is. But yeah, it certainly doesn't hurt to make sure you've got things available. I was actually saying to my husband the other night, you know those little lights you can tap on? Sometimes they're called puck lights. And they're little round lights and you put like AAA batteries in them. And they can just stick anywhere on the wall or on a bench and you just tap on them and they give you some light. I said, we should get some of those because, you know, that's sometimes of the year we get blackouts and stuff. And they'd be good to have around just to walk around the house in the dark or whatever. And you can just tap on a light and you can still do some things if you were working at a table or something. And, you know, I thought, geez, it would have been, you know, a good thing to have when you had no power during the thing, that so you could at least have some light and stuff. And they last for about 50 hours. Just things like that. Have little things like that. Okay. Stock up a little bit if you can. You know. You've got your spring garden. Start a garden. Grow some veggies or something. Just something that you can do to help yourself so that you're less reliance on what's in the stores and stuff, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, there is going to be something. Now, let's see. Tesla. Tesla, for the third time in the last year, they have dropped a third of their value. So let's have a look at that. Well, thank you. Thank you, Linda. That's nice to know. No. Okay, let's have a look. Tesla. They have been a rising star, and they have been a guiding light in a lot of new technologies and things. So that's been what they have been so far. And they've been sort of holding themselves out as a hope to a company of hope to the American people. They have made some deals. Hi, Greta. We're looking at Tesla now. For the third time in 12 months, their value has gone down by 1/3. So they have made some deals, which I think might backfire on them. Resources. Their challenge is resources. I think he's spreading Tesla too thin. Spreading themselves too thin, or Elon Musk is, whoever's. Page of Swords. At the bottom of this reading is disappointing news. The Page of Swords. Possibly somebody undermining or white-handing a little bit. Hi, April Evans. If I didn't say hello before, I'm really sorry. But some disappointing news. Past the Hermit. There's been some things kept in the dark with Tesla. And big things. This is a major arcana. High impact things that have been kept in the dark with them. Queen of Cups. Over it. Present. I'm getting financial ibuprofen. They're trying to do things to shore up the health of the company. You know, like I said, I often see the Queen of Cups as a panacea or a medicine. So they're trying to do things to shore up the health of the company. Immediate future. They're still able to have control over things, but this is only a 9. So it's not the solid legacy it was a few months ago, but they're still pretty strong and pretty in control. The environment. Yeah, financial stability. People are still seeing financial stability, even with those losses. That's what they're seeing. But is that the reality? They still look like they're sitting pretty. But there's things that are being kept secret, and there's disappointing news, and possibly, and you know, and possibly even someone, maybe whistleblower or something. Challenges spreading their resources, and medicinal or patchwork or patching things up. So this is in the environment, trying to put out, yes, we're stable, we're fine. That's what they're all concerned with in their environment at the moment. Remember, that's not at the full capacity that they were a little while ago. What do people see? Wow. People are seeing something that I don't know if it's a publicly listed company, but they might have some stockholders walking away and things like that, maybe selling stock, and I'm not sure whether it's publicly listed or a private company. What's the hope for Telford? The hope is that they can talk people into staying, get out the charming orators, the ones who put across their points well, the ones who put across creativity and energy and put that across and keep people enthralled. The fear is that they are a lot more embattled than even they know. What are the outcomes for Tesla? Well, there is going to be some news and some truth coming out about the company. I think they can rebuild to new and different strengths. I don't think they should be written off, but there are still some things being kept in the dark, but they are in for a bit of a rough ride. So, you know, there are going to be some things coming out, but they're very strong within themselves, and but they are in for a rough ride. They are going to keep going. They are going to keep going with their momentum and all that, but there's a few secrets there. It's really interesting. They are in for a bit of a rough time, but I do think they'll probably rebuild. But they are more embattled than they want people to see. No company wants the public to see that they're maybe overstretched themselves and aren't the rising star they once were. There's definitely something that they haven't been as open about as they could have been. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just could be something they have in reserve. But they are in for a rough time, but I do think they will come back and grow back to more strength, but they're still in for a rough time. I don't know how closely they're associated with SpaceX in itself and how much Elon Musk is still involved in the company. It'd be interesting to see. Okay. Guys, it's just after the hour. I'm going to finish up early tonight. Got a lot to do around the house in the next few days, so we need to be well rested and all that. So I'm going to wrap up early tonight. We'll be back Thursday morning, and I hope to see you all then. And yeah, so please, till then, stay safe, stay strong, stay loving, look after yourselves, and I will see you in a couple of days. Bye-bye, guys.